when I was 23, I had my first panic attack on stage.
It was clear that Bo's sense of humor was unique. His writing was sharp as hell, and his ability to perform and entertain was top-notch. But it all came at a cost. And eventually, that cost became too much for him to bear. In 2016, after dropping his third special called Make Happy, Bo Burnham stepped away from the public eye. He stopped performing live and instead pursued his interest in film, mostly from behind the scenes. Over the next 5 years, he worked to improve his mental health. And by 2020, he was finally feeling well enough to re-enter the spotlight. But then something crazy happened. The world shut down. The timing of Bo's planned return to live performance is incredibly ironic, because the moment he's ready to step back into the public eye, people can't even go outside. And it must have felt bittersweet, to be honest. But the more he stayed inside, the more it probably drove the guy nuts. I mean, here's this creative and aspirational guy pent up with 5 years worth of emotions, thoughts, and ridiculously clever lyrics with no outlet to get him out. But instead of shutting it all down, he turned that obstacle into an opportunity to create his greatest work yet, Inside, a comedy special released on Netflix that was filmed entirely alone in his house over the course of 14 months. And if you somehow are watching this and have not seen this special yet, I honestly wouldn't even be mad if you decided to stop watching this video to go and watch that special instead. Just come back. It's probably the greatest thing Netflix has ever put out, because when I saw it cooped up inside just like the rest of the world, I was mesmerized. Part of it was the timing and the packaging of the special. Like, hey, you're stuck inside, then watch this funny guy play some quirky music, and the catch is that he made all this while being stuck inside too. It felt relatable, and it felt like it was going to be a lighthearted experience that we all could laugh at to forget about the hardships of life. But it was somehow exactly what I wanted and something I could have never expected all at the same time. See, in this special, he wasn't just seeking to make people laugh or to make catchy music or to get you to forget about how crappy the world was. It was to tell a story, to tell his story of how ironic it was for an ordinary guy like him to build this successful career so unexpectedly, all predicated on live performance despite constantly dealing with crippling anxiety. Of how for 5 years he had to step away from the very thing he was known for in order to function as a human being again. And the very moment he feels strong enough to put himself back out there, the decision isn't even his anymore. It's tragic. But what I admire the most about this special and about Bo is that he didn't just pack it up and call it a day. He accepted the challenge and made some of the most thought-provoking music of his entire career through songs like Welcome to the Internet and All Eyes on Me, all while still being true to the witty origins of his success, like white women's Instagram and sexting. And all of the visuals in this special, the effects, the filming, everything you see was entirely his doing. He had no help. It's one of the most ambitious projects ever made, and we got to watch it together during one of the most isolating periods in human history. But that's the last that we ever saw of Bo. He hasn't released anything new since. And as of 2024, he's scrubbed everything from his social medias. No explanation, no goodbye, just gone. And look, I get it. The guy spent years telling us that the internet was consuming people from the inside out, that these platforms were designed to colonize every second of your life, that performing for an audience, even a small one, comes at a cost most people don't realize they're paying. So of course he logged off. But here's the thing that really bugs me, because while Bo's been quiet, the world he warned us about has only gotten louder. In 2023, the U.S. Surgeon General issued a formal advisory saying that social media was driving a mental health crisis in young people. Shocker. In 2024, he called for warning labels on social media platforms just like cigarettes. I mean, this is not a niche problem anymore. This is a public health emergency. And who's been making art about it? Who's been standing up and saying, hey, this is what this feels like, and you're not alone in feeling it? Nobody. At least nobody who can do it the way Bo can. See, that's the thing about Bo Burnham that I don't think gets said enough. He's not just the guy who makes funny songs about the internet. He's lived all three versions of this story. He built his career on the machine. He was harmed by the machine, and then he walked away from the machine. I think that's part of why he went quiet, because he understands better than anyone that you can't say something real while you're still inside the thing you're trying to criticize. you have to get some distance first. And maybe, after 5 years of silence since Inside, he finally has it. Which is why if Bo Burnham ever does come back, and I genuinely hope he does, there's only one title that makes sense. Outside. Because Inside was the story of a man who desperately wanted to get out and couldn't. But Outside would be the story of a man who finally did, and what he found when he got there, he just had to share with the world. So, Bo, if you're somehow watching this, which I highly doubt, I'm ready whenever you are. And if you found this video about Bo Burnham interesting, then you might want to check out this video here about Krispy Kreme, or Froggy Fresh, or Tyler Cassidy. He's got many names, and his transformation is pretty wild.